Something I always found depressing is when I don't know, whenever I was in middle school, that's when people started stop celebrating Halloween and Spirit Week. And I think, okay, I get it. You want to be adults, you want to seem cool to your friends, but to me, it's like, how do I put this? It's just pathetic, and I feel like it enables a culture where people just get afraid to express themselves. Right? That's why, as an adult, I can go to a Halloween party that literally says show up in a costume, the host gets excited, and then it'll be like only me, and then like maybe five people maximum out of a whole room of people who were too nervous to get dressed up and just decided, fuck this shit, or I don't want to get stared at, or and then they decide to show up with like black sweatpants, black hoodie, black t-shirt, black skinny jeans, all of them, and they look like fucking clones, and it just makes me so depressed because it's like, okay, I had the balls to show up to this Halloween party as the Joker. My buddy showed up as a fucking evil sock monkey. This girl showed up as a fairy, and I thought they were all infinitely fucking cooler because even at the risk of no one else doing it, they fucking showed up as themselves, and not many people can say that. Honestly, there's a lot of reasons for that, but I just think holidays are meant to be jolly and jovial. That's the point. Life is supposed to be worth living. Like, that's why people have favorite holidays. People who fucking love Halloween are usually like, yes, I get to pretend to be someone else in either a sad and depressing way or a really fucking cool, fun, exciting way. Like, yay, I get to be a cute fairy princess and wear my costume to school. Or, yay, I get to be an evil witch and cast spells over a cauldron. Or, I just get to eat a shit ton of candy and watch people have fun. Anything, really. And I just get so depressed when now in adulthood it's like, how do I put this? I wish people would still keep that same energy in adulthood, or better yet, I wish that they would cherish the time they had when they were young, so that then when they're older and every like big Halloween party that actually is fun is like $100 for tickets in the city, or like you have to know a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy who might have a modest kickback on Halloween where it's just fucking flannels and whiskey. Like, I think you should make life worth living, and that's the point of it. So whenever I see people not go hard for certain holidays, I just think to myself, what weak lives do you live? Because some people will be like, yeah, my family doesn't do gifts for Christmas. My family never did the Santa Claus thing. My family doesn't get a tree. They don't do lights. They don't go on. They don't do this, or that. So we just stay home. It's like any other day. That's so fucking sad and depressing. Because it's like, even with my family doing the shit they did and eventually they stopped celebrating Christmas, I was just like, okay, you know what? I remember I got an elf hat. I put on like a cute red shirt, like a cute red blouse I had with this bright green leather jacket I had. I put on some red thigh highs I had with sparkles on them, some cool boots. Oh my god, I had this cute little green skirt, if I recall correctly. I could be wrong. And I had an elf hat with a bell on it. And I strutted around campus happily, just being cheery as fuck, wiggling my head. And it made so many people's day because, simply put, that's an anomaly. That's something that doesn't happen every day. And I think it's good to make things that don't happen every day happen. You have to make occasions for yourself in your life. And I feel so bad for the people who don't realize they can. They sit around on their phones like, oh, every day is the same shit. Every day is just social media, working a job, fucking farting around, masturbating, showering, sleep, repeat. And they don't have a fucking life. I hate to break it to you, you have to make your life special. And it helps even more when you surround yourself with people who do. Because then you're gonna meet the people who are like, oh yeah, I suddenly got really into fermenting, like, and trying new fancy restaurants and going to their happy hours in my spare time. I like going to the beach to read books. Like, they'll list out tons and tons of. The best thing that can happen is that, if you're bored, the best thing to do is be innovative. Sometimes you hit that level of boredom where you're like, that's it, this can't just fucking be it. This can't be the rest of my fucking life, just bullshitting around without anything substantial happening. So, guess what? That's when you usually go, you know what? I'm gonna look up. That's why I got into succulents. I was like, okay, do I want to keep being heartbroken over niggas who I tried to nurture and it went wrong? Or would I rather research this really cool, indestructible type of plant that I'd rather nurture instead and pour all my love and affection to and watch flourish instead of getting no results from ugly ass, dusty men who hurt me? And then guess what? I ended up getting like 18 fucking plants at once and counting. And then I had fucking like 37. Holy fucking shit, I had so many plants. But that's because I got bored and eventually I was like, you know what? Let's get into something interesting. And for me, that was succulents and plants and propagation. And I had a blast. And then after that, it was like, okay, I think I've had enough of this hobby, or at least I'd like to add something more to like add on to the happiness. What can I do? Then I started doing cooking and baking. And then I was like, ooh, let me make fermented syrups like Korean style. And then next thing you know, I was like, you know what? It's been a while since I've checked out a comedy show. Why don't I go to those? And comedy shows used to just be like a few times a year sort of thing, like a really special occasion. But once I found out about certain open mics, I was like, damn, bitch, you know what? Let me check this shit out. And now I have like a bunch of people who are like, hey, Tamia, if you're free, come along, tag along with me. I'll take you to this one in the city. We can get you some mimosas, have some fun, and I have a blast. And I meet people and socialize, and I have an exquisite fucking time. And that shit is important. I think there's just the main component is I wish people still allow themselves to have fun. And when you're young, that's the perfect time to do it. You get to be cringe, you get to be ugly, stank, rank, fucking musty, and you'll still find people who love and support you. And even if you don't, there's still stuff you can do alone to have fun and enjoy your time on this planet with these. Because even when I was younger, was I considered the most attractive? No, I didn't give a shit. I still found myself plenty attractive, and I saw what other people couldn't. And then I also was like, yeah, some people would say, oh, she has no friends and she's a loner and she does nothing. The whole time I would be in the back of the class drawing my ass off for the 63rd time that day. Like, man, life is amazing. This shit is nice. Oh, I can't wait for recess. I'm gonna go sit in the sun for like a long time and think about fun shit. And that's what I would do. And yeah, Spirit Week, tying back to that, going to Spirit Week in high school was fucking amazing. Like Spirit Week in high school and middle school, because it's like you get to see who's too afraid to be themselves, or like who just is judgmental but also like I said, afraid, or just who's boring, and you get to stay away from those people. And it's like, okay, I remember Wacky Tacky Day. I was one of the only few kids in the whole school who got dressed, but frankly to me, I thought, okay, this is gonna be extremely fucking funny, and it's gonna build character and be 10 times funnier than if any other day where I just dressed normal. I had some bitches literally, as they saw me, they'd be like, hot mess. Because they didn't understand it was Wacky Tacky Day. Because they weren't keeping up with the whole school Spirit Week. And it's like, okay, they get to focus on fucking sucking dick in the school bathrooms and smoking cigarettes and weed. I get to focus on dressing like a hot mess to school on purpose because it's a designated dress like a hot mess day. And I'm gonna embrace life while I have it. And that's what I really want everyone to do. And when you're young, you can get away with it. And when you're older and you have like no parents hovering over your shoulder saying what you cannot and all that, like just once you have the freedom, please take it by the horns. Make yourself as happy as you can. Because let's say you were one of those kids who couldn't celebrate Wacky Tacky Day, or Spirit Week, or Halloween, or Christmas, or any of the fucking holidays. Like every day you just had to be a sad little boy at a church, or who just didn't get to experience shit excluding the Bible. Like, once you manage to move out from your family, or just live your own life, I encourage you to try some shit you never have. Big or small. Like, how do I put this? When I was a teenager and pretty much abandoned by my family in a bunch of ways, Not like I was still living under the roof, but it was just like, yeah, the showers don't work, the laundry ain't working, none of this shit is just, and it was an abusive, unstable household. So in a nutshell, it was like I could have used the form of escape that many people do when they don't know how to, when they're afraid and they're weak ass motherfuckers. I could have said, I'm gonna get into chain smoking and cigarettes and weed and alcohol and all sorts of like crazy shit. I could have gotten into some dangerous shit. Thankfully for me, the limit to my dangerous stuff was like fucking people off of Craigslist, and even then, only like, yeah, not really many of them. Yeah, let's not talk about that too much. Let's just say I was bored. But any other chance I could, I'd be like, oh, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna, like, even at my worst, even at my brokest, I was like, I'm gonna go to a grocery store, I'm gonna take an orange, and I'm gonna eat it in the sun. I'm gonna use a bunch of coupons at CVS and have fun just seeing how much I could get for super cheap, and give out my candy to the rare friends that I have, and hoard it, and just have a wonderful time chilling around a nice lakeside, eating a bunch of chocolate, thinking about my life, and doing some writing. I was sniffing flowers. I was like, and then as time went on, I still, to this day, do a bunch of shit that's new and unique. Not many other people do it, and if they do eventually try it out, that's cool. And if they don't because they want to do other things, also totally valid. But yeah, I guess I'm just saying, I hope that you can live life to your fullest at any stage. When you're young, you can get away with so much more. You can get away with failing. Even if some people mock you for it for fucking years, at least you can say you have a memory compared to people who never fucking tried. Like, okay, yeah, when I was young, I went to middle school wearing fucking fishnet gloves and a fedora. And I remember that day. And I remember this fucking kid named Giordani, he walked up to me and said, your arms look really fucking skinny in that outfit. And I just thought that shit was funny. I was like, I know. And I remember I would dress up in high school because I thought nothing matters and I might as well make life an occasion if it's gonna be something I have to live through. And I had bitches mad as fuck, but I also would have them be like, "Hey, Tamir, why are you dressed like it's prom?" And I would be like, "Oh, this is just a pretty skirt paired with nice jewelry." I don't know. Life's short. Have fun, and that's really it. Life is supposed to be fun. Allow yourself to have it every now and then. So I guess that's the end of my map. Try new things, revisit things that you even forgot that you loved in childhood that you might have been embarrassed during middle school or high school or times of extreme judgment. Like, yeah, that's okay. That's why I'm 23 years old. I got a lovely stuffed animal, or two. I used to have a lot more, and I have a lot of niche interests, and I can keep myself happy alone. But I also know exactly how to make myself happy indoors, outdoors, with people, and without. Love you so much. Peace out.